gang, welcome back to another episode of Ducks Quax. Still here at Ignite with Jeremy Thake.
Hey man, how are you?
Hey, it's been forever.
I know, right?
Jeremy, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody what are you doing these days?
Sure, so Jeremy Thake, I work at Microsoft in the Azure developer marketing team. I actually used to work with AvePoint for 3 years and I had great fun here and it's nice to see everyone at the conference. I've had a bunch of stuff this week, including Azure App Service sessions, Azure Function sessions, and a bunch of our Azure Solution stuff as well. So it's been a really, really busy week.
I mean, speaking of Azure, from the keynote itself, Azure is like the new poster child, right?
Yeah.
I love the whole message around Azure, you know, the supercomputing AI. But one of the things, and speaking with customers too, is there's still this idea that Azure, all Azure does is IaaS, right? Because they're comparing to all the other competitors out there.
Yeah.
What's your message to those folks on how they should think about Azure beyond just moving VMs in their data centers?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, most cloud vendors came from that space.
Sure.
We did too, much like AWS did, much like Google did. But I think with the platform application service that we have, the PaaS, it's more of a levers and pulleys and configuration rather than kind of owning the operating system, owning the patching and security and how many VMs you run and how they're distributed around the world. We kind of simplify that and make all that work for you and put things on rails like cognitive services, like Azure Functions,
yes.
all of the databases. Like I can literally go into the portal and go, I want a new database, and it just spins it up. I'm not worrying about installing Windows, installing SQL Server,
That's right.
configuring it and managing mirroring and all that stuff. It's just ticks of buttons, and I think that's really the value of PaaS in Azure, and it's where the future is, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even the advanced workloads, the other keynote where they translated Wikipedia,
yeah, it's very cool.
It's insane.
Yeah.
There's no way you could build that on-prem.
Right.
Or even the last Olympics where everything was streamed through Azure. I mean, imagine if they had to build that infrastructure.
Yeah, and I think the key is that, you know, there's 60 plus services now in Azure where, you know, you can start integrating these things directly into your mobile app or your web app, or even in your APIs to your service for your own customers.
Sure.
One of the big ones that we just did in the session today was a mobile app for an insurance company, Contoso Insurance.
Oh, Contoso.
Right, and you're taking the photos of the crash car, and then taking the number plate and taking the license plate of the person who hit you.
Sure.
And then using cognitive services with 2 lines of code to OCR all those images and store it in the database alongside the record. So it takes the process of kind of, rather than on your phone, typing the license plate in, typing out the VIN number, we all know how hard that is, just 2 lines of code by the developer in the mobile app and you're away and running. And so the value you can add to a scenario very quickly with these services is cool.
And now I started thinking about, well, in comes Dynamics 365, full case management, right? You can tie into that and track the case and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Now, let's talk about Ignite. What do you think about this year's Ignite?
It's crazy. It's a big event. It's been funny kind of just bumping into people in the expo hall, like surprising when there's 25,000 people here or something. There's been a lot of great content. I was super impressed by the keynote. I think it told a great story for the audience that's here. They've done a great job of understanding the attendees and what they want. For me, with developer side of the thing, I've been quite surprised how much attendance we've had in our sessions from pro developers.
Got it.
Which was good. I think people assume this is the TechEd conference,
exactly.
it's IT pros only, and it really isn't. There's a lot of business decision makers in here and a lot of devs as well. So
absolutely. One of the things that impressed me, speaking of the keynote, is Azure monitoring.
Yeah.
I mean, your buddy Donovan, man.
He was a great demo.
Absolutely.
He's been excited about that, but he's known about it for a while, and it's been nice to see him grow as he's gone through different keynotes and smaller events and get to be on a stage of this size, and he nailed the demos too.
Awesome. Now, before I let you go, Jeremy, other than Azure, if you're a Microsoft product, what would you be and why?
Wow. So I'm a photographer, and so I use Microsoft Pix, P-I-X, which came out of the Microsoft research team. It's available in the App Store on Apple. And
so it's a phone app.
Yeah, and it takes a really cool approach to taking photos, and the quality of the images that comes out of it is far superior than the default phone app you get with Apple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they're doing a ton of work on that. So as a photographer, I'd love to own that and message it and come up with cool ideas of what they can add to it.
Awesome.
So if you haven't checked that out, Microsoft Pix, P-I-X.
All right, well, as always, Jeremy, it's been a pleasure.
You're welcome, man. Good to see you.
I remember the first time we had an interview a long time ago, SharePoint conference.
Right, actually, that was funny because it was about what would you do if you weren't in SharePoint.
Yeah, and
I said I'd be president.
That's right.
Probably would do a better job this time.
Exactly. Well, let's not get into that. Anyway, guys, awesome time here at Ignite. Check out Jeremy Thake. Follow him on Twitter. Check out all his work in Azure. Till the next episode, thank you. Bye.